All right, today we are going to pull back the curtain on the hidden forces that shape our entire economy. We're talking about the competition spectrum, basically a guide to how businesses really go head to head. You've definitely seen this, right? Some industries are just jammed with choices, while for others, you've got one option. So what's actually going on here? Why the huge difference? The whole answer boils down to two words: market structure. You can think of it like an invisible blueprint for an industry. It sets all the rules of the game: who has the power, what prices look like, and how fierce the competition is going to be. So, to get a little more specific, a market structure is really defined by a few key things: how many companies are selling, what kind of product is it, and crucially, how hard is it for a new competitor to just show up and get in on the action. The best way to understand this is to see it as a spectrum. We're going to start way over on the left, where the competition is absolutely brutal, and then we'll travel all the way to the other side, where there's no competition at all. Okay, our first stop is perfect competition. Now, you should know this is kind of like a theoretical ideal. It's the perfect model that economists use as a yardstick to measure how real-world markets stack up. In this world, you've got tons of sellers all pushing an identical product. Think of something like wheat or corn. It's also super easy for new sellers to jump into the market. And the result of all this? It's huge. No single company has any power. They're just price takers. This graph right here tells the whole story. See that perfectly flat line? That's the company's reality. Because their product is exactly the same as everyone else's, if they dare to charge even a penny more than the market price, they sell nothing. Zero. Customers just go to the next guy. That's what it means to have absolutely no pricing power. All right, let's take a step along the spectrum. Now we're in monopolistic competition, and suddenly things are going to look way more familiar. This is the world you live in. It's your local restaurants, hair salons, and coffee shops. So we've still got a lot of companies, and it's pretty easy to open up a new business. But here's the game-changing difference: product differentiation. The products are similar, but they are not identical. Think about your favorite coffee shop. It has its own brand, a certain quality, a unique vibe, right? And that little bit of uniqueness changes everything. Just look at the demand curve. It's not flat anymore. Because your coffee is special, you now have some control over the price. You can charge a little more without losing every single customer. You've become a price maker, even if your power is limited. Okay, we're moving into the land of the heavyweights now. Welcome to an oligopoly. This is a market that's dominated by just a handful of massive firms. We're talking airlines, car companies, smartphone makers, the big guys. In this market, just a few players run the whole show, and the barriers to entry, they're sky high. Just think about how much money and know-how it would take to start a new car company from scratch. But the most fascinating part is this idea of interdependence. Every company's fate is tied to what its rivals do. What this means is that every single decision, whether it's cutting a price, launching an ad, or releasing a new phone, it's all like a move in a high-stakes game of chess. You're constantly thinking, okay, if I do this, what are they going to do in response? This table nails the central problem using what's called game theory. So imagine two firms agree to keep prices high. If they both play nice and stick to the deal, they each make a tidy 150. But, and this is a big but, there's a huge temptation to cheat. If firm A secretly drops its price while firm B plays by the rules, firm A's profit skyrockets to 200, while firm B gets crushed. It's this powerful incentive to betray each other that makes these markets so incredibly unstable. And here we are at the very end of the spectrum. We've reached the complete opposite of perfect competition, the monopoly. In this world, the market and the company are the exact same thing. One firm is the entire industry. A monopoly only exists because the barriers to entry are just insane. We're talking about a patent on a life-saving drug, or total control over a critical natural resource, or just startup costs that are so astronomically high, no one else can even think about competing. With zero rivals and nothing else like their product, the monopolist is the ultimate price maker. And this graph shows you exactly where that power comes from. Unlike any other type of firm, a monopolist faces the demand curve for the entire market. They don't have to worry about a competitor sneaking in and undercutting their price. This gives them incredible power to pick the price that will make them the absolute most money. So what's the end game for these different companies? Let's do a side-by-side of what happens over the long haul at the two extremes of our spectrum, because this is where the story gets really interesting. This one comparison says it all. Look at the left, perfect competition. If firms start making some extra profit, what happens? New companies flood in, right? That drives supply up and prices down. Until pretty soon, nobody's making extra profit. Everyone just breaks even. Now look at the monopolist on the right. Those massive barriers to entry act like a fortress, keeping all competitors out. And that allows the monopoly to potentially rake in massive, sustainable profits forever. Okay, so we've been through all these economic models, but why should you actually care? Well, it's simple. The structure of any given market has a direct impact on the prices you pay, the choices you have, and the quality of everything you buy. This table just lays it all out. It's all about trade-offs. Perfect competition, that gets us the lowest possible prices, and it's super efficient, but you get zero variety. Monopolistic competition gives us tons of choice, all those different restaurants, but it's not as efficient. And as you slide further to the right toward monopoly, prices shoot up and efficiency tends to go down. It really all boils down to one of the most basic principles in economics. Competition is your best friend. The more firms have to fight to earn your dollar, the more power shifts from them to you, the consumer. So that leaves us with one final and really important question for the future. Think about the tech giants that dominate our world today. Are they fostering new kinds of competition, or are they slowly becoming the monopolies and oligopolies of the 21st century? The answer to that is going to define the economy for all of us.